good. Beer is good. Beer is good. Let's go drink some beer.
All right, it's 93.7 KAZY, the Craft Beer Buzz here on a Wednesday night in Cheyenne. I'm Tommy T, along with
Misty.
And Chuckerdoo.
And we're brought to you by the Pepper Mill.
Thanks Pepper Mill. 1618 Stillwater Avenue. Where tonight, what is happening?
Trivia is always going on Wednesday nights with LSDJing Trivia, which if you've never done trivia there, those guys are awesome. The trivia is really fun. And it's actually, I think it's the best pub trivia in town, in my personal opinion.
They're personal friends of yours as well. No, I'm just kidding.
They are because I met them at pub trivia.
Oh, okay.
You're like, you're cool.
And then we just hit it off.
We're friends, too. We met at
a pub.
A pub.
Oh, Zombie
Fest.
Yep, and you had a baby coming out of your belly.
That was not me.
Literally coming out of your belly.
That was somebody else, but I did the makeup for it, so yes.
No, I swear you had a baby crawling out of your gut.
No, Kina did, because she was pregnant, and I put a giant baby face coming out with an arm. I had my guts ripped open.
That's what it was. Your guts were ripped open. That's what it was.
I was in a bikini.
I just remember your midriff and blood everywhere.
Anyway.
So now, two things
that's
unprecedented.
That's how I met Misty, too, with her midriff and blood everywhere.
I was like, hi, Tommy.
Welcome to the radio station.
Let me mop up real quick, and I'll show you around.
Yeah.
So, something that's never happened is about to happen. Misty brought in a beer.
Yeah.
And she also brought in the lowest alcohol percentage beer of everything we're drinking today.
It's not my choice. I did.
It's true. But I'm excited.
I am too. I've been getting down on this all weekend. It was everything for me to be able to save this one last one for you guys for the show.
Oh, well, thank
because
you.
I was digging the heck out of this. It's Funkworks Raspberry Provincial.
Yes.
And it is a sour ale brewed with raspberries. So it is, when you pour it, and I'll open it, it's a beautiful, natural raspberry-looking sour. And it's a...
Yeah, it didn't make a...
Okay.
So it doesn't make much of a noise when you open it, okay? All right.
But it's definitely beautiful in color.
Mm-hmm.
Like this nice pink color. And then it's got a nice tart kind of raspberry flavoring to it. Or, taste, because, Anyway.
It's raspberry.
Yeah, I was digging it.
I love Raspberry Provincial.
It came home to me from Fort Collins. And the alcohol content is 4.5 or something? Hold on. 4.2. So.
But this is great for you because this is basically an American version of a lambic, and you love lambics.
I do.
So, yeah.
The Framboise, the raspberry lambic, too, my favorite. So this one is definitely good. So do you want to tell us about the brewery? Because I'm not quite sure about Funkworks as a brewery. Yeah. I did not go out and get this myself, but it was brought back as a gift. So
Funkworks is 45 minutes south of us in Fort Collins with all the rest of the other breweries. And
there's a few in Greeley.
There are a few in Greeley, and but per capita, I think Fort Collins is a little nuts.
Yeah.
But so they're right down there. They're actually not too far from the Horse and Dragon as well, another great brewing company that you love.
Had
Sad Panda.
Yes.
Yeah, right. Oh. So Funkworks produces primarily sours, barrel aged and beautiful. They have a sister company called Jessup Farm, which if you haven't been...
That's the little people.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So they even hang out with the little people.
Well, that's cool. I want to hang out with a bunch of little people that have a farm and...
You're adorable right now.
What? I am a little person, aren't I? I want to feel tall, damn it.
You are? Oh, you're just
You brought in a long neck.
I did.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, that's cool. I knew right when you said Jessup Farm. I'm like, wait, I know those people. So, okay, cool.
So, and you had pulled this out, and you had run out of the studio, and it was everything Tommy and I could do to not drink it. But we were talking about how, this has the independent seal on it as an independent craft brewery. But it is partially owned by Brooklyn, who also partially owns 21st Amendment. And we were talking about why does it then have the independent craft brewer seal on it, where other breweries that have ownership involved with them don't. And that is because Brooklyn is an independent craft brewery.
Oh.
And then they got into business with Funkworks, which is an independent.
So they're
and
more-
21st,
also-
which is an
yeah.
independent. And so they all have co-ownership, but they're all kind of sharing resources.
Nice.
Whereas something where like, so say like Breckenridge is now owned by Budweiser,
Yep, and
which is a brewery, and it's in the like I don't know if it's owned by the Dutch, but
Something like that.
Dutch.
yeah, there's only two things I can't tolerate: people who are intolerant of other people's cultures
And the
And the
Dutch.
Dutch.
But the yeah, so that's why that doesn't have the independent seal because it's
Okay.
not an independent craft brewery. Or if it was like a large equity firm that like bought out your brewing company, then it's not an equity
But
firm.
it makes
not a
good
craft
sense.
brewery. Yeah,
Doing
so-
it
Yeah.
that way, you can share like distribution costs, and,
Right.
like you were saying,
Totally,
ingredients,
totally.
resources, things like that. Yeah.
And-
Oh, speaking of resources and ingredients, we were out in Pine Bluffs over the weekend
Yes.
for an event we had, and went and hung out at the Pine Bluffs distillery.
Oh,
Yes.
And,
How was it?
Oh, it's amazing. I've been out there a couple times, and they have like seasonal drinks too. So they have
Yeah.
like an autumn teaser and like
Ooh.
yeah. So really
Really?
kind of cool. All of their whiskey and vodka is all made there.
Yeah.
And a lot of it's infused, and even if it's not infused, it's amazing. So
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I was able to sit and kind of visit with Chad for a little bit there.
Oh, I love Chad.
Yeah, he looks way different than what I thought when I was emailing him. But
He looks like a character out of Kill Bill.
I know.
He
I'm
really
like,
does.
are you Chad? Because I'm terrified. No, I'm not kidding.
Don't pluck my eye out.
I
Don't pluck
like
my
this
eye out.
awesome though.
Actually, that's
And-
Uma Thurman. He doesn't look anything like Uma Thurman.
No, he
but-
doesn't. But I met his wife and kids first, so I was like, okay, he has a family. He's gotta be normal.
He's not gonna skin me.
Right.
Sober.
But yeah, so we went out and had some of those and just different drinks. And I don't know.
Excellent.
I had to try 3 different drinks because anytime I'm anywhere, I'm like, let's mix it up.
Right.
Oh, why not?
Totally.
Well, why not?
Well, it's the
Yeah.
magic
Yes.
number.
3. Yeah.
3.
4. Oh.
Oh, that's the magic number.
So yeah, what are we going to drink next?
Well, speaking of magic numbers, all right, so we just had the Funkworks.
Yes.
Yes.
Going to our next independently owned brewery. And if you notice, the left hand that we had in the beginning also has the independently owned seal.
I like that they're all growing up and they're
Yes.
independent now. I love it.
Oh, right? Ah, now we can just buy that
carving
RV.
their way.
Let's just buy that RV and hit the road
Yes.
now. All right, so we are opening up Bell's Not Two Hearted, Double
Two-hearted.
Yes. So Two Hearted, the #1 rated beer in the country.
And it's called that because salmons have 2 hearts, right?
No.
Oh.
No.
And these are trout. on
I
the
mean,
front.
trouts have 2 hearts.
And trouts don't either. I did used to think that.
Oh, my gosh.
No, it's after the Two-Hearted River in Michigan.
Okay.
But this is, and I haven't had this yet, so I'm
Oh.
so excited to
gonna
try a double
experience.
Two-Hearted. The regular Two-Hearted's around 7. Misty, this one's hovering right around 11%.
I like to hover around 11. Turn it up to 11. I'm good with that.
Yes, this
Yes.
one's cranked right up to 11. Well, then
11%.
why didn't you make 10% ABV bigger? Because always goes to 11.
Yeah, I really like this beer. It's pretty
Yep.
nice.
Well, sir, it fits nicely in your jacket and everything. I like
sure
it.
Oh,
does.
man.
Wow, the smell. This is a
Smells like Two-Hearted. So, everything you love about our classic Two-Hearted Ale, now in a double IPA with 2.5 times the amount of Centennial hops. Double Two-Hearted has intense pine and citrus notes, a resinous hop aroma, and a rich malt character. Mm-hmm. Hell yeah, it does.
'cause,
Yeah.
like, what do you get? And I get a lot of the malt and then the pininess too.
Yes, I get that, and also the hops too, but it still doesn't leave a bad or harsh aftertaste at all. It goes down really good. Yeah.
So I think the original Two-Hearted has a very grapefruity aroma to it.
Yeah, it did, it
This
did.
is more piney to
Yeah.
me and less grapefruity in aroma. I haven't tasted it yet though, and I can't.
Why are you talking still?
Sorry.
Drink. Sorry.
well, I already drank.
I know you
Before
did.
my next one.
I was talking to
Big malt backbone.
Yeah.
Tommy's on 2. You're on the worst one.
I know. I haven't even started yet. Yeah, and Tommy's like,
I love it.
"You're not supposed to drink it with a straw, Tommy."
Oh, don't let him tell you that. Beer with a straw is the best. Oh my gosh. So if you know me, you know
I know
I've
you.
drank beer out of a straw before.
Oh yes,
And I love it.
and it does make you drunker for some reason, but I can't remember why.
Because it just goes right down. It skips everything and just hits your belly. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
If you have a long enough
Unlike
straw.
drinking normally, it doesn't get to your belly. It just
Right. No, but there is science to it.
Yeah.
I remember seeing it on Mythbusters.
We'll have to
Experiment.
Google that. Oh yeah, I'm okay doing an experiment like in college.
Yes.
Or high school for me.
Or junior high. But no earlier than elementary school.
Done.
Certainly not preschool.
So anyway, is this available anywhere and everywhere? Is it out yet?
Nope. It is
No.
out,
Ooh.
but it is very limited. We only got a few
fancy.
cases of it.
oh man.
Yo, we're having a very fancy craft beer buzz. We
Yes.
had the White Russian Nitro Stout. We've
Yeah.
got Funkworks. We're on our second segment and into our third beer with
Yes.
Double Two Hearted. And next, we're taking the ABV up high as well.
Oh.
We're taking the ABV up.
Oh, it is actually even higher than 11% on our next beer.
Is
It
that
is.
even? It's a wine at that point, right? That's how I buy my wine. I look
No,
at the alcohol.
it's just going to make you whine.
Dang.
You can use this to get like stickiness off of bumpers and stuff. You know, like
Gotta clean
glue
my
off of things.
headlights.
But you're going to wake up the next morning and be like, why is my bumper sticky?
Turpentine. Wow.
All right,
Okay.
so that's coming up on our round 3 of the Craft Beer Buzz next to 93.7 KZ. Don't go anywhere. Thanks, Peppermill.
Thanks, Peppermill.